What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and finally, the moment some of us have been waiting for, and that is to test free Meliodas and free Elizabeth in Immortal Victor. And the reason being is because Immortal Victor is weak to green types, and both Elizabeth and Meliodas are green. Both of them have nice, decent 3PG animations. Meliodas actually has bleed, which Immortal Victor is actually weak to. He's got this nice attack buff, which is also awesome. He's got the super armor. They also gave him the decreased damage received by 70%, which is massive for Meliodas. And Elizabeth was also really great for this because she also has this nice attack buff based off defenses. And then she's got the decreased damage received, really helping survivability, the increased power charge rate by 50% for 7 seconds, which is massive for a character that has a 3PG. And when you're running with these characters, you want to make sure that you're running a Kea set or even the Athena set or the Mr. Big set on Elizabeth. And as far as imprint stones, you want to be putting defensive stones on this character. A character that has a self-buffing attack leadership based on defense, like the one that she has, and being that she's a defensive character on top of that, you're definitely going to get a lot more damage out of having this kind of set. You know, you want to make sure that, like, again, it's together the Kea, the Mr. Big, and the Mr. Big you actually be able to get for free through the Shizuru event when you're starting out the game, or the Athena set, which you actually get from the SS banner. And this increased attack equal to 45% defenses will stack on top of the attack that she gets based on defenses from her skills, which is massive. You can see I do have her skill infinity up to level 10. Her cores are completely unlocked, blah, blah, blah. And she is at level 40. I was really happy to get all those memories for this girl so that we could do this test. And I have no capsules whatsoever. So keep that in mind when you're watching this run. There's no capsules on Elizabeth or Meliodas. And I am going to be using Elizabeth's leadership for the increased all-fighter attack by 30% and active skill damage by 20%. And for Meliodas, when it comes to imprint stones, because he's an attack type fighter and also because he has self-attacking buffs, you definitely want to give this guy the attack imprint stones. Make sure they're all attack, increase attack by whatever percent. And by the way, this gain power is pretty massive against the Immortal Victor because it actually works. You actually do gain power, whereas against all the other Immortal dungeons, you need PG rate. PG gain isn't worth a damn, but PG rate is. That's how you're really going to be able to gain your PG so that you're able to do these 3 PGs even more often. And I'm running the Akane set on them. I could have ran the Yentama set, but I didn't want to run that set because I know a lot of people don't have that set, so I decided to just run with the Akane. And his affinity is also at level 10. And something to keep in mind is when attacking a bleeding enemy, it increases the enemy's receive. So as long as you just apply bleed to this guy, you're going to be doing more damage to him. And the more critical hits you land on the first team, the more you're going to decrease the target's defenses, which means you're going to be doing a lot more damage. And then, of course, we have Guinness. Now, again, my Guinness is fully maxed out. He does have max imprint stones. You got double attack on 2 of the stones, and then we have a HP stone in the middle. And then we are running the Rio set. And the Rio set is actually amazing because this set actually does work in Immortal Victor, whereas it doesn't work in all the other Immortal dungeons because this set actually enables you to gain PG. It doesn't give you a PG rate, but because it gives you a PG gain, it works very, very well. And I'm putting it on Guinness because Guinness actually, you can cancel skills super fast. Actually, you can put this Rio set on Meliodas and even Elizabeth because both of them, you can cancel their skills pretty quick, but Guinness, you can actually do it a little bit faster. But if I really wanted to go OP and really wanted to go crazy, I would just slap the Tekken set on him. But again, just like the Yentama set, I know a lot of people don't have that set, so I didn't think it'd be realistic to show that. And by the way, when it comes to Guinness, I definitely find that I do a way more damage using the default finisher, which means that I don't want to use my 3PG. So that's why the 3PG is here. The 3PG for Guinness is very, very short. And you'll find that if you do have that 3PG on, at least in my experience, and this has been months of experience playing against Immortal Victor and using Guinness, that he just does less damage. You're not stalling the timer as much because you're not using your default. A lot of times he'll do his 3 PG, then the other characters do their 3 PGs, and then by the time it circles back around again, it'll be his 3 PG that's ready again. And it's a short animation, and you really want to do those long animations for him. So that's why I have the 5 PG in the slot, to make sure that he always does his default. And the second team you guys might find pretty interesting, very free to play team. We have Janet, who's only a level Awakened 10. I am running the KS set on her to really help her tankiness, but I could have ran an Akane set. I could have run a totally different set for her, in all honesty. She doesn't have any imprint zones. She's just level 10. She has no capsules, nothing like that. She just has a lot of great survivability with the hyper armor, right? And the super armor, the reset on the first skill that gives her a little bit more damage. And then the leadership is really mainly why I wanted her here, because they increased attack by 45% and the PG rate by 20%. That is massive. And then the second team is Swimsuit Mary, which I know some of you can appreciate. And I am running the Akane set on her. I am using a 3 PG card from her. The most important thing about Mary is to make sure that you don't do her default finisher. It will cancel very quickly. Because it is a grab. But her 3 PG is not. It actually is a nice, decent animation. So you want to make sure you do her 3 PG. There's no capsules on Swimsuit Mary or Jeanette or Adelheid. There's no capsules on any of these characters at all. There's no imprint stones on any of them. Nothing. So no capsules, no imprint stones on the second team. Adelheid, he is at level 30. He has no capsules. He has no imprint stones. And I am running the Akane. And you can definitely see that the Akane is Kingdom Come here. You know, I have an Akane on Adelheid, Swimsuit Mary. I have the KS set on Jeanette. I got the Rio set on Guinness. And Meliodas, I have an Akane as well. And then Elizabeth, we have the Kea set. And I'll put up a screenshot right now. The first time I actually tried this, I was able to hit pretty much 500 million just with the first team. That's how OP, and that's exactly why I made that video a while back talking about why Elizabeth and Meliodas are such good free characters. Immortal Victor is the easiest Immortal dungeon in the game to play. And this is the first game mode where you're going to want to try to get all these rubies. And having characters like Meliodas and Elizabeth, who you can actually get dimensional invitation tickets for to level up free in the game, as long as you can farm in the Immortal Relays. For Clone Zero, you'll get a memory every week. Every 3 weeks, you'll be able to get a dimensional invitation ticket, and you'll be able to level up these collab characters. So eventually, you're going to be able to start doing Immortal Victor. You're going to be able to start getting the rubies, and you'll also start being able to get the imprint stones from this. So it's actually pretty awesome that the game gave those two characters for free. So let's jump into the second round. Let's see how we did. All right, guys, let's do this. So I'm going to start with Guinness. You want to make sure you run on semi-auto. Run through Guinness' skill, then switch to another character. Alright, we just want to run through our skills. And this bastard, I don't know about any of you guys if you noticed this, but it seems like Immortal Victor is shooting us back way more than what he did before since this update. I'm actually wondering if they kind of changed up things a little bit in here, because it seems like he's doing that way more often. Maybe it's just me. Let me know in the comments if it seems to happen to you more often. But something you want to make sure of is, you know, since Guinness is my strongest character, I'm spamming his skills. I want to make sure I'm spamming his skills so we do a lot of damage. The next thing you want to make sure is, so whatever character you have built up the best, that's the character you really want to be spamming the skills for. Really, Meliodas and Guinness, you know, on this team would definitely be the best. They are attack types. They're just going to do a lot of damage. Elizabeth does a lot of damage too, in all honesty, but just not as much as those guys. They have dot effects, they're attack types. But with Elizabeth, you want to make sure that you're using her 3 PG. Her default is so short and so fast that you just want to make sure you do her 3 PG as much as you can. And when it comes to Meliodas, it doesn't really matter. You want to let both of them play. And during every 3 PG, you always want to be switching your characters. Always. So you see here, Elizabeth doesn't have her... There you go. She didn't have her 3 PG ready, and then she did, and then that's when I went ahead and switched my next character. As soon as your 3 PG is ready on your character, switch to your next character. So right now, Guinness is playing out. I'm running through... Now look, you notice Elizabeth, her 3 PG is not ready. So we're just going to go ahead and play Elizabeth to make sure she doesn't do her default. And look at how often these characters are doing their PGs. freaking massive, my friends. Massive. You know, this is something that's nice about this is we don't even have a PG rate leadership, yet we're still able to do our PGs over and over and over. And that's mainly because, you know, Elizabeth, she does have that 50% PG rate from her skills, but she also has 15% power charge rate in her core. And Meliodas, he actually has 15% power charge rate also. And with the Rio set, you know, gaining that PG, it's just massive. I mean, look at the score we got. And again, guys, you know, this obviously wasn't as good a run as the first run that I did. I think I just had a really, really lucky, good run. But, you know, being able to hit 500 million with this first team, not even fully built, level 30 Meliodas, level 40 Elizabeth, no capsules on either of those characters. I mean, yes, a maxed out Guinness is freaking insane. And because this first team can do so much damage, your second team doesn't really need to be all that strong. I mean, I got a level 10 Jeanette, a level 30 Adelaide, a level 40 Swimsuit Mary, and none of them have capsules. None of them have imprint stones. I mean, look at the score we're putting out here. And see, look at this bastard. He really seems to be doing that skill a lot. A lot, man. It's crazy. And there you saw I had 1 second left, and I went ahead and switched to another character. Or, I mean, I'm sorry, we just kept spamming Guinness's skills. There we go. Let's look at this, damn. Over 400 million, my friends. Look at this. 420 million on the first team. And you saw that I hit 500 million in the first run I did with the first team. Just crazy. Just nuts. And something that's also really nice, and it's kind of off the subject of the 7 Deadly Sins characters, is Jeanette is freaking tanky. Even at level 10, the girl can stay alive. No freaking problem. Adelaide, I find he's a little funky to play sometimes because the second skill, you can't just cancel it. The first and the third and the first you can, but the second you can't. But he still gets it done. He does have a 3 PG, and it's really going to help. I mean, they are able to do enough damage where we can get it done. And Swimsuit Mary does have dot explosion, burn explosion, which is actually, or I'm sorry, chill explosion, which actually does make a difference. She's going to do, you know, quite a bit of damage because of that. But this is a very free-to-play team, very free-to-play setup. Guinness is a character that everybody should be leveling up. Everybody should be maxing out. He is insane in multiple game modes in this game. And the free-to-play 7 Deadly Sins characters are absolutely insane for this. And I do believe that Meliodas is going to be good in other game modes as well. And probably even Elizabeth, to be perfectly fair. But look at this. I mean, we're about 490 million now. I mean, we're going to get this done early. Come on, guys. You can get it done. And boom, shakalaka. There was about 13 seconds left. We hit that 500 million marker with a completely free-to-play team. So I'm really happy to show all of you that these free-to-play characters are absolutely insane. And they're definitely going to help you out, especially you newer players that are just starting out this game. You came to this game for the 7 Deadly Sins collab. You can see that these characters are very, very relevant. They can help you get that max score in Immortal Victor so you can start getting some rubies and you can start getting some imprint stones to make your character stronger so you can progress further in the game. So let me know how y'all feeling about Meliodas and Elizabeth. And I stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GMT plus 7 time. From Sunday through Thursday. The link will be in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one.